Nelson. Welcome to Forest Escape.
Today we're going to talk about the concepts of building a good, strong chicken coop that will endure hard weather and normal use with a large flock of chickens. My chicken coop is 8 feet wide by 4 feet deep, and this design that I'm talking about today is an 8 foot wide by 8 foot long coop. Also, the design I'm talking about is taller. For me, my door is short, so I have to bend down to go in. And the new design is a walk-in door 6 feet tall. I'm going to try to keep this video as short as possible and show you this concept. So I'm choosing to share this in Photoshop because I do have a mouse you can see, and I can draw on the screen if I need to. So in the upper right area, you can see that it's an 8 foot square coop with nesting boxes, a brooding area, and roosting bars. We're using 2x4s treated lumber on the exterior. We've got to have 3-inch exterior screws and 1.5-inch exterior screws. We need braces, like 3-inch braces for corners. So you'll see this area here, each corner would have braces, okay? So anything with stress is going to be braced. 1/2-inch plywood on the exterior walls, and you're going to have to paint it or stain it. This is the cheapest way to complete this project. Of course, if you have more money, you can use different types of materials. On the front of the coop, you can see that there's a door and there's a little window. The chickens, when they're in the nesting box, like to look out the window. I don't have one yet. All right. On the back of the coop, this is what goes out into the run. This plan is not for the run. This is just for the coop. I'll have another build for the run. There's a pop-out door that opens and shuts from the inside, and every door has a jamb. That means that nothing is going to sneak in a crack because there won't be one. All right, on the roof, you have a ridge cap. You've got polycarbonate roofing, insulation boards in between slats, and those can be put in or taken out. That really helps for the weather. We have hardware cloth on the inside of the roof. The venting, you can drill holes with a paddle bit and put hardware cloth over it. It doesn't have to be an actual vent. It is built on cement block all the way around. I didn't do that. I should have. All right. We have walk-in doors with the knobs and hinges and latches. I want to point out latches that raccoons can't open. So I'm using steel carabiners that are spring-loaded to open and shut. They're heavy-duty ones. They're not cheap ones. All right, this 12-inch window is a little playhouse window with a screen, so you can open and shut it. And the pop-out door probably should be a 14-inch square, but 12 will work too. Again, you're just going to want to pay attention to where you place your studs. And of course, that pop-out door, you don't want the raccoon to be able to open the door. So this is showing what's inside the coop. On the left-hand side, you will have roosting bars. Okay, those should be untreated, and they are 2x4s stepped at an angle. And you're going to probably run them from this area here down to this area here. You don't want their heads in the area of the roof where the airflow is coming in. Okay, you want their heads down below that. This is hardware cloth on like 1x2s, and you can put that in and out to be able to clean it, or maybe you just don't want to gather droppings. I use it to gather droppings for chicken tea, for fertilizer for the garden. All right, so you can see there's hardware cloth for the brooding enclosure. This would be the safe area here that's enclosed. This is for any sick or injured chickens or any broody hen with eggs. She will be protected in here and have enough space to be comfortable with food and water and all of that. To the right of that side is the storage area, and that would go all the way down to the floor, and you can put a door on it. You could enclose the bottom of it, or you could just stack feed buckets here, one of feed and one of scratch. And then up here you could have all your medicines in a cupboard. And keep in mind that they're dirty animals. Chickens get in everything, so you probably want a door on this. If you don't have the money to put hinges and a door and a latch, you can just put shelves, but your blue coat and all of that kind of stuff could go there in containers that they can't open or make dirty. All right, below this you have nesting boxes. 4 hens per box is kind of what people say on the internet. Personally, I only see 2 girls at a time, but they take turns. I have 20 hens, and there's no problem with them laying eggs. You know, you might see, I've actually got only 3 nesting boxes. So, you know, you'll find 6 eggs here and 6 here and 4 here on an average day. So, you know, if you have 4 nesting boxes, that'll really be nice. You should have a roosting bar in front of the nesting boxes, and they should be 14 inches. You know, this shows the side. You do want to enclose it completely, so you're going to have a front with supports, and then you're going to have a back that's solid, and then you're going to have 2 solid sides, and you're going to have solid partitions in here, okay, to divide where the girls are going to lay. They like privacy. All right, let's see. A door for the brooding area, a door for the storage with hinges and latches. The 2x4s we talked about being untreated. 1/4-inch plywood for the walls for the nesting boxes and the shelving units. Some pine shaving for in the nesting boxes. And, you know, paint if you want to paint everything. Everything is going to get dirty. There is no way you're going to keep it clean, even if you try really hard. When you build something new, it looks wonderful, but actually being used, it's not going to look wonderful. Okay, that's just the way it is. So this is talking about the Coop roof and the Coop floor. Let's start with the floor because it's easiest. So this is literally a platform built on cement blocks, and it's a good idea to put some posts down through a cement block on each corner, so it's going to stay in position and be anchored, so to speak. The flooring should be 3/4-inch plywood flooring, or thicker if you can afford it, but that is worth investing a large amount of money in. I know with the 8x8 it's going to be an expense, but I promise it's worth it. Stick on heavy duty linoleum flooring, so if you can get like 18-inch tiles, stick those down on a very clean surface. You can seal the surface if you want. I didn't, I just used the raw wood. You're going to put pine chips on top of your linoleum flooring, and you are using 2x4s that are 8 feet square. You know, for the floor, it's going to be treated lumber. You're going to secure the 2x4s down in the cement blocks. So, if you can pound it into the earth through the cement block, great. And then screw your 2x4 to your platform. Just it'll help. It'll give you some stability. All right. So they're 8-foot fronts, and you're going to have 93-inch sides, so to speak, because you want it to be a 96-inch or 8-foot square. Okay. All right. Now the roof is interesting. You have your trusses, however you decide to build those. Okay, they need support, they need bracing. You can make an M, you can use whatever truss style you like. I built everything in my living room. I mean, sometimes I built trusses in place. It's not difficult. All right. But inside your truss area that is supporting your roof, you are going to put hardware cloth everywhere. So when you're standing inside the coop and you're looking at the ceiling, you're looking at hardware cloth and the edges where the breeze comes in under the roofing and goes back out the other side. You're going to have hardware cloth screwed to the interior. That means no squirrels are going to come in the edges, and no chickens are going to access the boards that are insulation boards here you see in blue. Those are for insulating against heat or insulating against cold. You can pull them right out toward you, right out, if you don't want them in there, and you can put them back in when you want them. But the point is, you don't want the chickens accessing the insulation board because they will peck it and eat it, and it won't be good for them. All right, so you have a basic support system here. You have 1x4s going across and 1x2s going vertically. Okay. On the horizontal, you're going to be screwing down your polycarbonate sheeting, and it does overlap, and then another sheet, and you're screwing it down with special screws for the polycarbonate roofing. It is corrugated, so it's special. There are foam pads that go in and support. So you have to buy the little foam pads that are used for the polycarbonate shading. That's not on the list here. I've got the 1x4s and 1x2s. I'm talking about the spacing for the polycarbonate sheets. So you got to look at them. They're a strange width. And you want them to be a long length so that they overhang your building. The idea is to have water runoff far away from the walls of the building. Okay. We talked about the screws for the polycarbonate roofing, but you do need the little pads. They are kind of a rolling shape with flat on the bottom, and then you set the rolling style roof on top of that foam. So they're necessary. Okay, we talked about that. If you build it 100 inches wide, that would give you 2 inches overhanging coming toward you, toward the front of the coop. The back needs to be flush because that's where the run is going to go. And you're going to have greenhouse plastic there, and you need that to be able to hook to the top of the building. So you don't need overhang there. If you choose to have 102 inches, then you could have 2 inches hanging off the back toward the run. That's up to you. But you'll have to fit it then when you go to build the run. All right. We talked about that. I think that's good. But yeah, these are ideas for you. It's concept only. You've got to measure and build as you like. Check all your measurements. Build it for safety and stability. I'm not assuming any liability for what you do. You kind of learn as you go, and if you like to build things, you know what you want to do. You don't need me to tell you every little thing. If you have not built anything in the past, what do you see? You see a square. You can build a square. You see straight studs as supports. You can cut those and screw them in with an impact. You can cut short lengths to support that. You can put two big pieces of plywood on top of that. You can do it. Trusses, they're triangles. They're triangles with M's or H's or whatever kind of support you want in the middle. It's all screwed together. It's simple. Put one triangle here, on the other side another triangle. Bolt them together. Screw them down to the wall frame. So this building is 8 wide by 4 deep, and looking at it now, I can see how that is like half the size you actually need. So that's why the design I'm showing this time is bigger. I also forgot to mention that putting black plastic under the build area is a really good idea. Here you can see that the polycarbonate roofing hangs over the building, so the water will run off, and it has a ridge cap as well. Here you can see what I call sick bay, or a place for brooding and raising chickens from eggs underneath nesting boxes. Mine is much smaller than the idea that I have presented in this video. This is a view of the roof, so you can see the hardware cloth, and then above that insulation boards, and above that polycarbonate. I used extra materials that I had laying around to make the nesting boxes. If you can use something washable, it would be really nice. This picture, the point is to be able to see the insulation board slats that are in the roof. Here you can see the hardware cloth. It is screwed in everywhere. Nothing can escape and nothing can come in. Venting can be as simple as drilling holes with a paddle bit and putting hardware cloth over it, and then just have a little piece of plywood with a couple hinges to open and shut.
Be sure to like and subscribe and share with your friends. Have a great day. Bye.